Welcome to another Farm Credit preseason football coaches show here on KLBY with Kyle Buffington, the head football coach of the St. Francis Indians. And coach, as you look ahead to the upcoming season, what do you expect, kind of?
I look for it to be a pretty good season for us. We got some young kids that are going to have to grow up, but all in all, I think they will, and it's going to be a pretty good year.
All right, folks, if you want to know more and learn more about the St. Francis football program, go to OpenSpacesSports.com. Well, Coach, as you prepare for the season here, I think one of the smaller schools, obviously, with 1A, 2A, 1A football in Northwest Kansas, numbers are always a challenge, I think, for you guys. How many kids did you have out this year participating?
We're going to have right around 30, give or take one or two, but that's about where we're going to be.
When you talk about leadership, then, who do you expect to be your leaders on your team?
You know, the real cool thing is we've got a lot of guys that are trying to step into that role, and some of them are doing it really successfully. But we've got a real good group of juniors that are very vocal, and we got some good seniors, even some sophomores that are making themselves known. And you know, it's just pretty cool that, you know, the way everybody's kind of coming together and wanting to be that guy that everybody looks up to.
You know, you were part of a really rich tradition in football when Tim Lambert was here, and then there was a little bit of a slide right after that, and then you came in last year as your first year as head coach, coming back into your alma mater here. Do you see, and obviously your goal is to get this back to where it was, do you see that developing, and do you see that happening in junior high even and up through the ranks a little bit?
Absolutely. You know, last year, as a high school squad, we went 4-4, which got us back to 500, and I think that was kind of huge. You know, we were right there in about every game. You know, our junior high was undefeated, and so was our JV football squad. And you know, I think we're getting to that point where we're playing Indian football again.
Now, let's talk about that. Characterize for the viewers out there and listeners, St. Francis Indian football. How do you characterize it?
Really, you know, we're just going to come at you and hit you, you know. And for all the years that, you know, Lambert was here and the time that I played, you know, we lived to go out and grind on people. And really, I think over the last couple of years, we'd lost that. And last year we got back to doing that, I think. And you know, offensively, we're still going to do the exact same thing that we've been doing for, you know, the last several years. And you know, we just think that we can run over people, and that's just our mindset.
When you look at your schedule this year, for those people that don't know, you got a couple of open dates, and one of the challenges and the reasons for it, obviously, is that you know, it's more difficult, it seems like, all the time to find 11-man football teams to be able to schedule a full schedule. Has that been the case here?
It really has. Actually, with Atwood dropping to 8-man, that hurt us on the last week of our schedule because of the 2-year contract cycles. And then this year, our week 4 season or week 4 of the season that's open is due to a conflict with Colorado schools, you know, where their season's actually a week staggered from ours, and it just is a schedule conflict, and there was just really no way around it. And that's really kind of the frustrating part, where, you know, the schools have to go through a 2-year contract cycles, and it just, everybody's got their schedule, and it's just tough, you know, unless a school would have to drop to 8-man or something that's, you know, in a contract cycle playing 11-man. It's just, there's really nothing that we can pick up.
Now, you mentioned 8-man. I believe it is a fact that you guys, St. Francis, and I believe Oberlin also, are going to go to 8-man next year, starting with another new 2-year cycle.
Yep.
But that puts everybody in the Northwest Kansas League in an 8-man football situation. Will that be helpful in the scheduling realm of things?
It'll be hugely helpful. You know, it'll be basically back in the early 2000s when we were playing everybody in the league anyway. You know, we're just going to go back kind of the schedule we've always had, you know, playing the Atwood and the Hoxies and the Oberlins and, you know, everybody, you know, within the area, and it's going to be easy to do.
Now, the only exception, of course, is unfortunately you're not going to get to play the Oakley Plainsmen, and that has really become a big rivalry game over the last 10 years, I think, especially where Randall Rath was from here. But it's a case where they're going to be the only 11-man team left if they were in the league, so they've gone to the Mid-Continent. That'll be a kind of a disappointment, and I get to play them, I would guess.
It will be. You know, Oakley's always a very tough rival for us, and, you know, they play excellent football there, and, you know, it's always fun to rise to the challenge and play somebody that's, you know, maybe better than we are. It's going to be exciting for them also to switch gears and, you know, to be able to continue on with their tradition, and, you know, they just have more opportunity being that much further east, you know, and but it will be, you know, kind of a downer for us because, you know, it's just part of what we always did. We played at Oakley, you know, and we used to always play Atwood, and so it's just traditions are kind of going to the wayside a little bit, but, you know, we're trying to keep on going as we can.
With the 2 open dates that you have, you told us before the interview, told me that you had never seen an 8-man football game. You're going to be coaching an 8-man football team next year. So are you going to go watch 2 8-man games those weeks you're open?
Well, we actually have scheduled some 8-man JV games, and we're going to get our feet wet a little bit that way. And my defensive coordinator guy, Devin Dinkle, you know, he is, you know, a rich 8-man tradition, and actually have won a state championship playing 8-man down in Sharon Springs. And so it's we're going to have the tools to do it. It's just we're going to have to study up on it.
Well, listen, good luck to you this year. Final year of 11-man football for St. Francis, as you said, kind of an era coming to an end. But good luck to you. We'll cover you in a couple games throughout the year with Open Spaces Sports, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Kyle Buffington joining us here in St. Francis, Kansas, the head coach of the Indians. Rich Epp reporting from St. Francis for Open Spaces Sports.